Let's play a word association game. If I say JAMB, what is the first word that comes to your mind? Stress? Anxiety? Cue? Result? For many Nigerians, the word that follows JAMB is mass failure. Every year, the board releases results and the air fills with familiar lament. The results are out and it's mass failure again. Headlines scream it. Parents wail about it. And the dreams of thousands of hopeful teenagers are deferred, if not completely shattered. Today, I want to talk about this mass failure, not just as a statistic, but as a symptom. What does it really mean when we say there's a mass failure in JAMB? The anatomy of the failure. First, let's look at the numbers. We see reports that over 75% of candidates scored below the national cutoff mark in key subjects. We see a bell curve that is skewed heavily to the left. On the surface, it looks like a generation of students has simply stopped reading. But is that the full picture? I argue that what we call mass failure is actually a convergence of three specific crises. 1. The crisis of access versus competition. JAMB is not just a test of knowledge. It is a filter. We have over 1.5 million candidates annually chasing maybe 500,000 to 700,000 university spaces. The system is designed to fail the majority. It is a bottleneck. When you have limited seats and unlimited ambition, failure is mathematically inevitable for many, regardless of their actual intelligence. 2. The crisis of infrastructure. We cannot talk about exam performance without talking about the environment students learn in. We have classrooms overcrowded with 100 students. We have a curriculum that rewards memorization cramming rather than understanding. We have teachers who are overworked and underpaid. We then take a student who has spent 6 years in this broken system. We sit them in front of a computer-based test, CBT, for the first time in their life. A computer they may have only ever seen in pictures, and we ask them to compete with a student from a city school who has had a tablet since age 5. Is it failure, or is it a reflection of national inequality? 3. The crisis of value. Finally, we must look at the use of English scores, specifically the comprehension and prose sections. When a student cannot understand a question because their foundational reading skills are weak, the problem didn't start in SS3. It started in Primary 3. We have a cultural shift away from reading. We consume information through short videos and social media, but the exam requires sustained concentration and critical thinking. There is a disconnect between how students live and how they are tested. The psychological toll. We must also address the elephant in the room, the mental health of the Nigerian teenager. Imagine studying for months. Imagine your parents selling provisions to pay for your registration. You walk into that hall, your heart pounding, and the first question stumps you. The second question stumps you. By the third, you panic. This mass failure is not just an academic issue. It is a psychological epidemic. It tells a generation, you are not good enough. And that is a dangerous message to send to the future leaders of our country. The way forward, a call to action. So, how do we stop the bleeding? How do we move from mass failure to mass success? To the students, stop cramming. Start understanding. The JAMB syllabus is your guide, but the world is your textbook. Read novels to improve your English. Watch educational YouTube videos to understand physics and chemistry. Shift your goal from passing JAMB to mastering knowledge. To the parents, success is not a cutoff mark. It is resilience. If your child scores 180 and shows aptitude in carpentry, coding, or fashion, support that. University is not the only path. Let us destigmatize skill acquisition so that the pressure on this one exam reduces. To the government and schools, we need a radical investment in CBT infrastructure in rural areas. A child in a village should see a computer long before their final year. We also need to train teachers in modern pedagogical methods, how to teach for understanding, not just for exams. To JAMB itself, the board must continue to improve security to ensure the exam is fair, but also consider the feedback mechanism. The exam should inform the curriculum. If everyone fails a particular question on logical reasoning, perhaps we need to teach logic in secondary schools. In conclusion, mass failure is not the problem. It is a fever that tells us the body is sick. The sickness is inequality. The sickness is a decaying educational infrastructure, and the sickness is a national anxiety disorder focused on a single exam. Let us stop wringing our hands over results and start rolling up our sleeves to fix the system. Let us teach our children that their worth is not defined by a score slip, but by their character, their resilience, and their ability to think. Thank you. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.